So Monkey Man is just as insane and awesome as everybody has been saying it is. If you haven't heard about this movie, it is about Bobby, or Kid, played by Dev Patel. So Bobby has this traumatic childhood past with the sinister elite of India. And now that he's an adult, after years and years and years, he's found this opportunity to be able to infiltrate that sinister elite and get back at them and get his revenge. And this just story and journey of revenge is epic and incredible to just witness. It's truly a remarkable film with some fantastic choreography and camera work. I've seen some complaints about shaky cam in this film, which I don't really get, because yes, there is some shaky cam, but really there isn't that much. Most of the time it's steady. The shaky cam is actually utilized, in my opinion, really well, because it happens during really stressful 15-second instances where you need to feel how intense it is and feel how stressful it is, and that's what the shaky cam does. But it's not overused for like 5 to 10 minutes of an entire action sequence. No, it's like little 15, 10-second shots even, you know? And to me, I think that that's fine. I don't think that that's really much of a problem, but if you disagree, I totally understand. Anyways, I really did adore this film. You could feel every punch, just anything, whether it was like a boxing fight or an actual fight, was just balls to the wall intense. And yes, were pretty much all of the fight scenes advertised in the trailers. Yeah, they were. And that sucks. But also, like, what do you expect with a movie that is kind of niche and needs to market itself to a wider appeal? It has to use all of its fight scenes a little bit. But there are moments that weren't in the marketing that are still just so impactful. It's just like, there's a lot of, oh, like, moments, you know? And there were moments where I was like, Jesus Christ, like, verbally in the theater. The fact that the majority of it was filmed on GoPros and iPhones, and the fact that Dev Patel broke one of his hands and had to keep on filming. Just the fact that all of that happened, but this film is still so cohesive and so intense and looks great. Like, visually, it looks great. It's insane, you know, and that's just kind of the magic of filmmaking. And even in the way I would describe this film is it's split into essentially 4 chapters. You have this half-an-hour setup chapter with minimal action. Then you have one like 20 to half-an-hour sequence of mostly action, then no action for half an hour, action for the final half an hour. That's pretty much how this film splits. And even during the non-action sequences, there are just still parts that are great and really kind of hone you in. You know, it builds up the world, and there's one scene with a pocketbook, and like that might be my favorite scene of the film. It's not an action sequence, it's just a pocketbook sequence. And then you also have this brutal flashback during one of the non-action parts of the film, as well as a fantastic montage, one of the best montages I have seen in a long time. And one thing I really want to just credit this film for is its editing with music. I feel like music is such an important and underrated part of filmmaking that could really enhance a movie tremendously. And this film really understood that assignment. Any scene with like some sort of like intense or profound music was just so well executed and so well edited. The editing of this film was insane. You know, I loved the editing of this film. I think it might be the best editing of the year, and I saw Dune 2, so that's kind of saying something. And yeah, you know, this is a film I really appreciate. It's a film I really respect. And to answer the title, John Wick walked so Monkey Man could run. What I mean by that is that this is the type of film that never would have been greenlit in a million years without John Wick. Is this movie as good as John Wick? I think it definitely stands up to the first couple of John Wicks, but like by the third and fourth, no, it's not. But like, at the end of the day, if this film did become a franchise, which I don't think it will because the box office hasn't been too great, it would get better and it would ramp up just like the John Wick movies did. The first John Wick movie had just as much action as this one. You know, it did not have nearly as much action as like the fourth one did. And for people that complain about this movie not having enough action, it's the first in what could be a franchise. It's gonna have the smallest budget. Action's expensive. You know, like the fact that they actually had as much action as they did was good to me. I did not expect there to be as much, you know, and maybe that's just me being a pessimist. I just really appreciate this film for existing. It world builds in a wonderful way, but it also has certain political commentaries, not only about India, but I think commentaries that are relevant to most countries in the world, and I appreciate that. I appreciate a wonderful action film with a really strong message at its core. So for those reasons, I'm gonna give this film a solid 4 stars. But what about all of you? What did you think of Monkey Man? Please feel free to let me know in the comments down below. And while you're down there, feel free to like, subscribe, check out my Letterboxd, my X, whatever you want to do. And if you want to check out another video, here's my review of The First Omen, a movie that I might have thought was better than Monkey Man. Take care.